It's Friday. I know you're happy about that. Like, I don't even have to ask. Everybody's always happy when it gets to be Friday, right? No matter how bad our week has been, we all like to see Friday. I do know, yeah, I'm moving the camera right now. Sorry. I do know, of course, there's some of you, if you happen to be down in the path of the hurricane, you might not be having a great Friday, though. Thank goodness it did slow down before it slammed into the coast, but I think it's all the rainfall that looks like it's going to be the most problematic down there, but hopefully everybody's staying safe in that area. We have a few things to break tonight. Most of it just came out today. We will have a half case of Leaf autographed football jerseys. That, of course, came out a while back, a couple of months ago maybe. But we're also going to open some Leaf football that did come out today and some Topps baseball that came out today. Before we get started on all of that, we do have a little information to go over. So let's get rolling with that first up. So we just finished doing, of course, our Leaf Greatest Hits baseball. We've done football. We did that by a case. We did a box of Greatest Hits baseball. We're now going to get into a case of Greatest Hits basketball. This actually just came out, I don't know, like a month ago or something like that. It's a similar format to what you're used to in that it has the buyback cards that are not from Leaf, you know, the Topps, the Upper Deck, the Panini, that type stuff. They can either be graded or encased. And it also has something different in it. This one has an look at that. I made a typo too. An original Leaf, I'll fix it later. An original Leaf trading card, which the others have had, but this one will be autographed. And it will be one of three people, apparently. It would either be like LiAngelo Ball, LaMelo Ball, or Kyle Kuzma. Okay, so if it came out as Kuzma, it would go to the Lakers. If it came out for either one of the Ball brothers, we'd give it out by way of random. The break bonus on this one will be an autographed De'Aaron Fox jersey. And of course, once again, this one not listed on eBay. It is being sold directly by way of chat and messages. We're just opening it up tonight. We're going to do it as 15 spots again, okay? So it is 2 teams per spot. That worked pretty well in baseball. That's what we're going to roll with again. So you're looking at $100 a spot, which is $50 a team, gets you into that case break with the bonuses that you see there. If you happen to want to be a part of that, just shoot me a message on eBay and let me know, and I'll get you plugged in there, okay? Now, we are rolling onward with our regularly scheduled programming. So, feedback. I always put this up there just because it seems to come up a lot. My feedback is automated on eBay, so you don't ever have to wait on me. Anytime you leave positive feedback for me, you're going to instantly get it in return. So if you buy 10 items and you leave 10 positives, you're going to get 10 positives heading right back your way pretty much instantaneously. And of course, the next thing that you see is a message to say thank you. That's because I do appreciate you stopping by and bidding and breaking and chatting and hanging out with me. What we're looking at right now is a list of breaks that are coming up on eBay. This stuff that you see on this page is listed already on eBay. So these are coming up here over the next 5 days. So we're going to open another case of Trinity football tomorrow night, a 3-peat basketball box that has 3 autographed items in it, a jersey, a basketball, and a picture. And we'll open the last case I have of Contenders Draft Picks basketball. Sunday, we'll open another one of our multi-sport autograph programs, selling the spots by the first letter of the last name. We're going to open a half case of Gold Rush Series 2 autographed baseball jerseys. Those came out today. It's a 6-box case, so of course half case is going to be 3 boxes, 3 jerseys. We'll open a second case of Leaf History of Baseball cut signature on Sunday night, spots sold by first letter of the last name. A 4th and goal football box, which has 4 autographed items, a full-size helmet, mini helmet, jersey, and photograph, and the 4th and final case I have of Absolute Football. Monday night, we will open an entire case of TriStar Game Day Greats autographed jerseys. Those are 5-box cases. A 3rd case of Spectra Football, a half case of Luminaries Baseball, which will be the start of a new case, and a full case of Bowman High Tech, which came out this week. On Tuesday night, we'll open another half case of the autographed baseball jerseys, the back half of that Luminaries case that we start on Monday night. And then we're going to open the back half of Heritage High Number that we're going to start tonight. We'll finish this case on Tuesday night. Wednesday will be a full-size autographed football helmet, a half case of Leaf jerseys, which will be the half case, the back half of the case we're going to start tonight. A third case of Trinity and XR football comes out on Wednesday, so we'll open a full case of that. The order that we're breaking in tonight will be the half case of football jerseys, then Trinity football, then Heritage high number. So that's the order we're going in. If you're in the free shipping break, which is the football jersey break, I'm anticipating that your items will ship out on or before Thursday the 20th. Free shipping stuff, generally I project to go out 6 or 7 days after an auction ends. If you happen to get skunked in the jersey break, again, the free shipping break, your consolation card, which can be from any year and any series, normally I'm just going to hold on to it. And I do track it for 90 days. And then the next time you do have a hit with a card or an item, I just gather up all your consolation cards, send them out in that package all together at once. If you don't want to wait, you just send me a message on eBay, you let me know, and I will get you taken care of. Our paid shipping breaks tonight, that would be Trinity football and Heritage high number. Anticipated to get those out the door roughly Tuesday. I say roughly because it could possibly slide into a day earlier or a day later, but I'm going to hope for Tuesday on both of those. If you happen to get skunked in one of those breaks, Trinity or Heritage high number, then everything's going to ship to you with the rest of the break since it's a paid shipping break. So first up tonight, 4 boxes of 2018 Leaf autographed football jerseys, half case break number 17. Everything we're opening tonight ended tonight on eBay, Friday night, the 14th of September. We have our team names there on the left-hand side. Winning bidders are across from it on the right-hand side. And of course, you know what? A new spreadsheet goes up before every break. So if you're not in this one, not to worry. You're going to get to see your name up there on the screen when we do get to your product. And let's take a look at chat before I get all these jerseys out. You guys might have noticed the background went out of focus there. That's because I don't use autofocus. So that's me manually setting the focus. So Corey is here and Scott's here. LPS Fandom is here looking for a Broncos jersey. Greg and the Major Rad Player. Oh, the Major Rad Player, you want in on the Leaf Greatest Hits. Let me do that real quick before I forget. And you're Cutie Pie, right? Major Rad, let me just put you in. I'll just put you in as one QT, and that will remind me. So give me 1 second, guys, to get that in there. And I think I saw that Corey is looking for 5 spots in there. And guys, I will be sending you, of course, the normal. I'll send you an email directly to your email when we're close to having this ready to go. It's, you know, pretty much the standard deal. I'll let you know that we're close. I'll let you know when we're invoicing and all that kind of stuff. But of course, between Corey and the Major Rad Player, we have about half of our spots taken up right there. So thanks, guys, for that. And all right, so what else have we got here in chat before we get started? Let's see if I've got anything else. Oh, you guys are talking about outbidding each other. Okay, I see how that goes. And let's see, anything else? Anything else? I think that's got everybody in there. LPS Fandom, you also want in on the Leaf Greatest Hits basketball. All right, let me put you in there as well. And LPS Fandom, what is your, you can do one of two things here. You can either tell me what your eBay username is, or if you don't want to type that into chat, you can tell me what team you have in here tonight. And then that way I'll be able to go back and match it up and pull up your email address, because I communicate about this mostly directly through email. So that's how that'll work. And Randy, you want to get in for one too? All right, let's drop you in there. Randy had an excellent run with Leaf Greatest Baseball. And let's see. Oh, Thomas, you are Logic Boy, right, on eBay? Because if you are, we may, we're just about to fill the whole thing up here, guys. Because you want 4 spots, so let's get you in there. And hang on here, guys. Let me get that last little bit in here. That's actually only going to leave us with one spot. I think that's about the fastest we've ever filled up a direct break, isn't it? So, all right, you're Cami June on eBay. Okay. It will not be tonight, LPS, but you know what? It looks like it's going to be tomorrow night because we are just about to fill it up here. Right now, there's only one spot left, and I think... Oh, Jeff, what are you... Jeff, I'm talking about the break I just had up a minute ago where I was talking about the Leaf Greatest Hits basketball, the direct break that was up just a second ago. Oh, so LPS fandom, you do not want a spot in there then since it's going to be tomorrow night instead of tonight? Okay, well, we'll take you back out. And Corey, you want 2 more spots? That still fills us up because Corey's got 7 spots in there. All right, guys. So, yeah, after the break tonight, I will be getting in touch with Corey and Cutie Pie and Randy and Logic Boy and giving you guys more details. Then we'll get you invoiced and we will break that then tomorrow night. So there we go. Jeff, that actually got us filled up on it. As a matter of fact, sorry about that, man. We are actually filled up on Leaf Greatest Hits. But there is another case of it, which we can break later in the week. But this, I do have actually 2 cases of it. So we'll give you another shot at it, Jeff. But this one is filled up. All right, so this Leaf Jerseys, guys, this is the start of a new case. It's a big honking case, and it will not really adequately fit in that little space there. So here's how we do it. I take all 8 of them out of here because it is the start of a new case. I'm going to number each of these boxes on the end, and then we will use random.org that will tell us which ones we're going to open tonight versus which ones will be open in the next break. So let me get them numbered here. I think I can accomplish that, maybe. And then we're going to go over here to random and figure out which ones we want to get into tonight. Well, we want to get into them all, right? But random's going to give us four numbers so we can pick out the half that we're going to get opened up. Okay, here we go, guys. This is going to give us 1, 7, 2, and 5. 1, 2, 5, and 7 are the jerseys we're going to open tonight. 1, 2, 5, and 7. All right, here's 1, 2. We don't need 3, 4. We do need 5. We do need 7. Okay, let me get these other 4 put back in their case. I'm going to be right back with you. Okay, jersey time. I love opening the memorabilia. And you know what? We have pulled some seriously nice stuff out of here. Like, yeah. We pulled the Tom Brady. We pulled the quarterbacks of the century. We've pulled Terry Bradshaw. We've pulled, which cowboy did we pull? I forgot. Was it Romo? Who was it? We pulled a really good cowboy out of there at some point. We pulled some nice stuff and some good rookie hits in here too. Like, yeah. LPS fandom, you are hoping for a Broncos jersey. We'll see if we can deliver one for you. But first out of the bag, or first out of the box rather, we are LaDainian Tomlinson, Chargers. There's your signature and of course your Leaf authenticated hologram, and looks like there's a player hologram authentication and a Leaf credit card plastic type COA. So Chargers drawing first blood here, if you will, with the LaDainian Tomlinson. I know, Corey, you did most of the heavy lifting on that, man. You helped us sell that breakout in record time on Leaf Greatest Hits basketball, so thank you for that, man. I appreciate it. Fran Tarkenton, Vikings. We pulled him out of the last break that we did as well. And there, of course, is your signature with a little Hall of Fame inscription, a JSA sticker, and a JSA piece of paper. Guys, just as a by the way, when these are coming to you, if it is you that it's coming to, make sure you find the little pieces of paper or the credit card size authentications before you toss everything out. I have a tendency to fold them up inside the jersey, kind of within it. And I know that we all get excited when we get stuff like this in the mail. You know, you take them, you flip them open as soon as you get them. And sometimes those little things might end up in the bottom of a box or a package or something. So just make sure you find it if you want it. Well, boy, okay. O.J. Simpson. Out of jail and already hard at work signing. There is a JSA authentication paperwork. There is your O.J. Simpson signature, Hall of Fame inscription, and JSA sticker there. So the Buffalo Bills have O.J. Simpson. That's there's a blast from the past. Yeah, Corey, I'm with you. I like Leaf Greatest Hits too. I always enjoy it, and you have been having quite good luck in it. So you have been on a very good run with Leaf Greatest Hits lately. I would say, considering you have 7 spots and 2 teams per spot, you're going to have 14 teams in there. I'd say you probably do pretty well again. You never know, but let's just say the odds will be with you on that one. This is Chris Dolman, and there again, JSA authentication, your signature, your JSA there. Is Chris Dolman a Viking, guys? Let me look this up. Give me a hot second here, and I want to see if I don't want to call this out incorrectly, so I better check it. So okay, give me 1 minute. And I can't see right now, by the way, when I'm looking this up in chat, or when I'm looking this up on the iPad, I can't see you guys in chat, but I will be back with you momentarily. Yeah, years of service, definitely Vikings. 10 years with the Vikings, only 2 with the Falcons, and looks like 3 with 3 with the 49ers or something. So definitely length of service is Vikings. And it looked like a Vikings jersey anyway, which would have been the deciding factor if there was any question. So Chris Dolman for the Vikings, who had 2 jerseys out of this break, if you can believe, for the Vikings. O.J. Simpson for the Bills. That's still just kind of questionable to me, but there you go anyway. I'm sure it still brings some money. So Fran Tarkenton is our other Vikings jersey tonight. And then we had for the Chargers, LaDainian Tomlinson. Always a nice hit to see LaDainian come out. So that's our half case of Leaf football jerseys. Give me 1 moment to get these set aside safely, and then we're going to roll right into Leaf Trinity. Okay, let me get our case of Leaf Trinity, might be helpful. Can't really break it without actually having the case of it now, can we? A little more helpful to actually have the case if we need to open it, right? If you did not see this a second ago, here's what you need to know. Anticipating a shipping date of Tuesday for Trinity and Heritage High number. If you happen to get skunked in either one of those breaks, because they are paid shipping breaks, your consolation cards would go out with the rest of the break. And of course, if you were in the jersey break that we just conducted and you got skunked there, consolation cards, unless you tell me otherwise, I normally hang on to them. And then I'll ship them all the next time you have a package. If you don't want to wait, send me a message, let me know. We'll get you taken care of, okay? We are 12 boxes of 2018 Leaf Trinity football. Full case break number 1, just came out today, the 14th of September. And Trinity, guys, usually has some really nice hits in it. And Trinity Baseball is actually one of my favorite Leaf products, period. Now, I like Trinity, but Trinity Baseball has some of the best patches that like you'll find in any baseball. I'm talking as good or better than what you'll find in Panini or Topps or anything. And Leaf Trinity, they usually do a really good job with, no matter whether it's football or baseball or otherwise. So very much looking forward to getting into this. And it looks like I'm knocking some stuff over there with the edge of the case, but that's all right. We'll set it back up in a minute. I'm just making a mess on my table because I'm all excited about getting into Trinity. Yeah, Corey, that's right. You did get the Vikings earlier. That Fran Tarkenton out of that other group of Leaf jerseys was yours. Because I think, didn't I just got out to you on the way today, I think. Pretty sure it was today. Sometimes I have to tell you, my days are, sometimes they blend together. I'm not really sure what day I've done what. Is that scary? That is a little bit scary, isn't it? If you have not opened these before, a Leaf product in general, I mean, they have all hits in here, okay? So there are no base cards. Everything in here will be a hit. Their stuff is on card signed, so it's card signed autographs. We don't have stickers and all that. Occasionally they have redemptions. Seems like a little bit more so this year than normal, but in general, they turn the redemptions around pretty quickly if you do get one. At least that's been my limited experience with it. What else? They come out of the box all ready to go. They're in top loaders and sleeves right out of the box. So they're typically in very good shape. The cards aren't usually beat up or anything like that. And what else? What else do we need to know? Low numbered. Most of it is fair. I mean, you don't have stuff in here that's going to be numbered to like $4.99 or anything like that. So most of it's pretty low numbered, and we generally have a really good run with finding some of the big names. So we can probably expect to see maybe Darnold and Baker Mayfield. Some of those guys hopefully will make an appearance tonight. Josh Allen maybe. You never know, but in general, we tend to have some pretty good hits out of Leaf this year. Corey, you got outbid on the Browns and the Jets. You said Fast 0425, gotcha. Yeah, sometimes it is just the cents, you know, the extra little 10 or 20 cents that somebody puts on something that will win it. I mean, I've told you guys before, I'm amazed at how many bids will end exactly at the 0 mark or the 50-cent mark, like, you know, 20 or 20.50 or whatever. So, you know, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Your best chance to win is, instead of bidding 20.50, put in like 20.73 or just some odd amount like that. You'd be surprised how many times you win by just a few cents. Queen of Diamond cards is here. And, you're waiting for Heritage, but you're going to hang out with us. Well, nice. I appreciate that. And Corey is looking for Ravens Mojo. Randy is looking for the Bills Mojo. James is looking for Bo Scarborough and a little Michael Gallup tonight for the boys. And, oh boy, I can't pronounce your username, but someone in here, I'm really bad with name pronunciation, guys. It extends into usernames as well. Someone is telling me that Baker Mayfield is a redemption in here. That one's trying to slide out of the top loader. So I guess if there is a Baker Mayfield, we'll find it as a redemption. So somebody's been watching the breaks and has some info for us on that. Scott, you've got the Packers, the pack. We found some Bengals for you last night, so let's try and carry it over and bring you some good Packer luck today. Corey says losing out of this gave him a lot more money for Heritage. See, that is the one way to look at it, right? Just carries over from one into another. I do know that feeling. I have done it myself. Look who's here. It's the Jupiter Sailfish. Jupiter, I have not seen you in chat in ages. Where have you been hanging out? Ryan's here looking for some Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Fred here. Hi, Fred. Corey, you said you've seen a lot of redemptions in this product in Trinity. You know, Leaf has had more redemptions than normal this year in their football. Apparently, they've just had problems getting cards back from players. And that's also, I guess, why so many of their products, the release dates have moved, you know, because we all know how many times we've had anticipated release dates and then they come along and move them on us. So I think the players maybe haven't been totally cooperating with Leaf this year. And give me 1 second. I need to grab the most recent list that I have here, because we may need to look a couple of these up somewhere along the way. So here's how this is going to work. Of course, guys, if anybody that's with a team currently, the card is obviously going to go to their current team. If we've got some people in here who were maybe on a team, either with a training camp deal or a rookie mini camp deal, whatever it was, or they got cut, if they're no longer associated with any team, they will go to the team they were most recently associated with. Now, take for instance, if they got cut like DeAndre Goolsby, right? He was a Lion. He was undrafted free agent, signed by the Lions, cut by the Lions, went to the Jags. I think he may have been cut by the Jags too, but the Jags would have been the most recent, so he would go to the Jags and like that. All right? So if there's any questions about any of that, let me know, but basically it's going to be current team or most recent team if they've been cut. So we're starting out Dalton Schultz, and the Cowboys is our first out tonight. And I'm trying to see, that one's not numbered, I don't guess. I don't see the numbering on it. So we're going to say that one is probably not numbered. Trenton Thompson, that one, of course, is numbered. It is to 25. And Trenton Thompson, he's a Brown, I believe. James Washington, I know where James Washington goes, kids. This is 225 for my Pittsburgh Steelers. And of course, he even writes Go Steelers to help us out, like we didn't know that. But of course, I know James Washington. And speaking of DeAndre Goolsby, he was the example I used a minute ago. Here you can see his autograph a little better if I put something behind it. And, of course, he was undrafted free agent, went to the Lions, cut by the Lions, went to the Jags. So unless he is associated with somebody else since then, he will go to the Jags. If he is signed with another team in the interim, he would go to that team. Here is Mr. Nick Chubb. He is a Brown. And Ronald Jones II, a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Kiki. He is coming out with a nice patch for the Texans. And Akram Wadley was an undrafted free agent most recently with the Titans. I'm not sure I think he ended up being cut by the Titans, but as far as I know, he hasn't re-signed anywhere else. So unless he does or has re-signed somewhere else, he would be a Titan. Riley Ferguson, he's another UDFA. Riley went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, got cut from there, as far as I know, not with anybody else, so would go to the Bucs. Alan Lazard, UDFA, to the Jags. Again, unless he's gone somewhere else in the meantime. Now, here's one you're probably a little interested in. There's Mr. Sam Darnold, who had himself a fine game week 1. So, Sam Darnold and the Jets with a nice inscription on there as well. And a redemption. Our redemption is DJ Moore. That's going to be for the Panthers. Jamon Moore is a Packer. And, of course, he's got an inscription. I think that's the most we've seen Jamon Moore write on anything, isn't it? Oh, and look, we got a little line. Not just a J, but a J and a little line. You might actually get a premium for that because there's more than just the J on it. You never know. James Washington, once again, for the Steelers. This one, though, numbered to 5, and a nice inscription on it as well. And Kenny Hill is out. I don't remember Kenny Hill, guys. I have to look Kenny Hill up. Bear with me for a second. Kenny Hill was a UDFA, went to the Raiders, cut by the Raiders. If he hasn't signed with anybody else in the interim, then he's going to stay with the Raiders. Fred says, now you can relax. That is always better, isn't it? When you get your hit and you feel like you can kind of, sit back for a minute. So we have a nice 1-of-1 printing plate signature here, and that is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's with Ronald Jones II. So the Bucs with a 1-of-1 printing plate autograph. Minka Fitzpatrick. Minka is a Dolphin. A redemption for Derwin James. I think Derwin James is a Charger, right? I'm pretty sure Derwin James is a Charger, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, Charger. Okay. Ralph Webb comes out next. Ralphie boy. Ralphie. Yeah, I know. That was a little, that was a little Christmas story. Patriots is Ralph Webb. Denzel Ward coming out with a nice patch. Denzel Ward, of course, is also a Brown. Here's your Michael Gallup you were looking for. Michael Gallup. Oh, you're telling me Ralph Webb has re-signed with somebody else, Randy? Is that what you're saying? Because I last had Ralph Webb as a Patriot. No, you're saying Patriots. Did I not say Patriots? I thought I said, did I not say Patriots? Well, if I didn't say Patriots, guys, that's who I had written down for Ralph Webb too, was Patriots. So if I read that wrong, sorry about that. Or it could be that Randy was typing it in just while I was looking it up. There is a little delay in it showing up. But there was your Michael Gallup, ask and ye shall receive for the Cowboys. Mark Walton. Mark Walton is a Bengal. I did say Patriots. Okay, good. Because you know what? Sometimes I think one thing and another thing comes flying out of my mouth. So it's always good to have a backup. That is Hayden Hurst for the Ravens. I believe Corey was looking for a little Ravens mojo, weren't you? That Hayden Hurst headed your way. Here's a nice one. That is numbered to 10, Braxton Berrios. And of course, Braxton is also a Patriot, and I like that patch really quite a lot, as a matter of fact. Another clear autograph. This is Marcus Ball. I think Marcus is maybe a Raider. Yeah, UDFA to the Raiders unless he has gone somewhere else in the interim. Rashad Penny, live and in person, not a redemption. Aren't we excited about that? Seahawks, with an inscription, no less. Here's Mr. Calvin Ridley for the Falcons to 25. I believe somebody called out for a little Falcon mojo too, maybe. Clear Cedric Wilson. I have to look Cedric up. Cedric Cowboys. How did I forget that? I don't know, but I did. I don't see him enough to remember him, I think's the problem. Auden Tate, numbered to 10. That is Cincinnati Bengals. DJ Chark is a Jag. That is a nice patch as well. Queen of Diamond cards. You're a big Miami Hurricanes fan. Okay, so you like seeing the Braxton Berrios come out then. Falcons, Ito Smith to 25. You had the Calvin Ridley a minute ago. Your Ito Smith patch is really nice. So Falcons just had a couple of good hits. Mike White for the Cowboys. Western Kentucky University. Mike White. Durham Smythe. Durham is a Miami Dolphin. Marcel Aitman is a Raider. And Cortland Sutton is a Bronco. I like that there's a lot of inscriptions this year, more so sometimes than normal. So the inscriptions always kind of make me a little bit happy. Royce Freeman is also a Bronco. Deron Payne is a Redskin. What does that say? The 13th pick is what his inscription says. Here comes a couple of redemptions. Dion Kane, who is a Colt, followed by Ian Thomas, who is a Panther. Kerryon Johnson for the Lions. Detroit getting busy with it. Detroit needs to get busy with it. Man, that game was dreadful the other day. Josh Rosen, Cardinals. Now Arizona can relax a little bit with their Josh Rosen coming out to play here. Dante Pettis is here for the 49ers. We have John Kelly for the Rams. Another clear card. There's Jake Weineke. He is Vikings. He was a UDFA Vikings, and I think he got cut by the Vikings. But, of course, again, you know, it's going to go to the last team he was associated with, which would be the Vikings, unless he signed somewhere in the interim, which usually this time of year they haven't signed somewhere else. Luke Falk. Luke Falk, I believe, has signed somewhere else. He was a Titan. He got cut by the Titans. I think he has signed somewhere else, and I'm going to set him aside because I'll have to look that one up because I don't remember where he went. Mike Gesicki is a Dolphin. Bo Scarborough. Hey, isn't that exactly the other Cowboy that you asked for? I think that it might be exactly the other Cowboy you asked for, James. Here's Akram Wadley again, and Akram, of course, UDFA Titans. Justin Jackson. Justin Jackson, I always mix up. He is a Charger. And that is, again, yeah, they used a little thicker, what am I trying to say? Top loader on some of these than maybe, so some of these are sliding around a little bit, but not to worry. I send them in bags anyway, so you don't have to worry about them escaping on you during shipping. Next up is Arden Key. He is a Raider, and that is numbered 210. Dallas Goedert for the Eagles /25. And Rashawn Evans. I think is Rashawn Evans a Titan? Let's double check that. I don't want to call that wrong. Yeah, he is a Titan. Okay. Ben Kurt, UDFA Falcons. Don't know if he's gone anywhere else or not. If he has, he would go to, wherever that might be. But for right now, we'll check on him. We'll check on Luke Falk because I do think Luke Falk signed somewhere else. Troy Fumagalli, Broncos. Here's another Calvin Ridley for the Falcons. This one is numbered /25. Got another inscription there from Calvin. This is quite a nice patch. Patriots are having a good break tonight. There's Sony Michel, part of the number on that patch. And I'm surprised that's not numbered because really, frankly, look at the patch on that. You would think it would be. Then we have Javon Wims. Javon is... Javon is what? I got to find it. Hold on a minute. I can't remember. The Bears. Javon Wims for the Bears. Quentin Flowers, UDFA Bengals. Cam. Cam is an example of somebody who's moved around a little. So Cam was in a UDFA, went to the Saints, cut from the Saints, went to the Panthers, numbered /25. Don't think he's been anywhere else since the Panthers, so provided that is factual, he would go to the Panthers. And there it is. Browns, were you about to have a stroke? It's the very last one we look at is the Baker Mayfield. Meanwhile, the Browns are like now, wiping the sweat from their brow going, thank goodness. But did we we found a Darnold, didn't we? Yeah, we found Sam Darnold, but we didn't see Josh Allen in here tonight, did we? We're going to recap this here in 1 second, guys. I won't read all of it off again. We'll just do a quick little pass through a second time in case someone missed part of it. But what I want to do first is double check here on Luke Falk and Ben Kurt, because I do feel like that somebody, Luke, I think, has signed with somebody else, and I'm not sure if Ben Kurt has or not, and I do just want to look that up, so please bear with me here for a moment. I don't want to call any of these out wrong and have somebody be disappointed down the road, so I'm going to take a second and just try to look it up. If I can get NFL.com to cooperate with me, that is. They're a little slow tonight on NFL.com. Why is it not wanting? Come on, stupid NFL. I don't know why their website is so slow all the time. Yeah, Luke Falk has signed now with the Dolphins, okay? So he was originally, of course, you know the story, but he has subsequently signed with the Dolphins. So I'm going to write that down so that I remember that for the next case, and then we won't have to look it up the next time. Wouldn't that be better? And then we're going to look up the Kurt Benkert here and see if Kurt has gone anywhere else or not. Because I'm pretty sure he was cut by the Falcons. I just don't know if he went anywhere else. And I'm waiting again for... oh, he actually wasn't cut. Okay, there you go. He is still with the Falcons. So, how about that? For some reason, I thought he had been cut. But he's still showing up on NFL.com as the Falcons. So there you go. Life is good. Oh, and YouTube is like reloading for me for some reason. I don't know why it is doing that lately. So it takes a minute for the chat to reload. Sorry, guys. Fred said it was last card mojo in that case. You're right about that, Fred. And Randy, oh man, you got blanked on the Bills. I am sorry about that. And that's a little unusual too. Usually in Leaf, we tend to pull out or at least in the other Leaf releases up to this point, we pulled out most of our big name quarterbacks. I guess, well, we did pull out several of them. I guess just not every single one out of here tonight. So, man, I'm sorry, Randy. Oh, and Corey said, man, I only got one Raven, so Corey's not feeling the Ravens love either, but at least you didn't get blanked, right? So there's something to be said for that. But it is good that Baker Mayfield came out. But can you believe, though, it was there at the very last one? Like, I would have been having a breakdown if I were on the other side of that, right? And I were waiting for Baker, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, we're on the very last card. I still haven't seen him. But the good news is, of course, there were lots of other Browns, so you would have had a nice stack coming to you regardless. But of course, Baker's the man you wanted. I still just cannot get over that Drew Brees said that he thinks that Baker Mayfield is better than he is. That to me is like saying something, because Drew Brees, he's not one to just kind of run around throwing out all kinds of crazy compliments. That was to 10, the Lazard, by the way. I probably wasn't reading all those numbers off the clear ones, was I? But it's not like Drew Brees to be so effusive with his praise. So the fact that he was saying all that about Baker Mayfield really kind of gives you a little bit to think about, doesn't it? Maybe it's just a height thing, right? Because Drew Brees is about the same height as Baker, I think. And they always, all those talking heads that say you can't be successful in the NFL if your quarterback is not taller than these guys. But I would say that Drew Brees probably would disagree with that assessment. And now maybe Baker too. Did you guys see where, I shouldn't laugh because it's really not funny. It's to 25, but it kind of is. Did you see where Johnny Football was complaining this week in the media about how now he can't even play for the Canadian team? Like he's just riding the pine up there in Canada. So I guess he got hurt. Like they traded him, of course, from the first team. And he played a little bit, got hurt, had to set out a game or something, then got the flu or I don't know what. Something else happened to him. And then they moved him way down the depth chart or something. So now the guy is like riding the pine in Canada for the second team. He already got traded by the first team. So Johnny Football having a little bit of a rough go with the comeback season, I think is what he had, right? Not etched, but embroidered on all of his stuff this year. Comeback season. Maybe not. Okay, we are getting ready to head into Heritage High Number, and of course it just came out today. It is a half case break, which is going to be 6 boxes, and it may not sound like a lot when you say a half case, but there's a lot of cards in this. So we're going to be breaking this for a little while. And of course, it also ended tonight, Friday night, the 14th. We had a couple teams not selling here. That would be the White Sox and the Twins. You see them there designated on the spreadsheet as no bids buyback. So if anything comes out for the White Sox and the Twins, well, that'll just be less stuff I've got to ship out, right? More stuff I'll be stacking onto Card Mountain, which is perilously close to collapsing and crushing us all. This is the start of a new case. This is going to be like a little mini earthquake when I set this on the table because it's really heavy, so just beware of that. It's going to, yeah, see, told you, remove the camera. So once again, because it is the start of a new case, I'm going to take all 12 boxes out. We will number all 12 boxes on the end. And here's some kind of advertising poster that's on the top. I don't really, you know, whatever it is, something or another about Series 1 or 2 or something. Well, I guess it would have to be, well, it could have been update. I don't know what it said. Either said update or Series 1 of 2019. But we're going to take all the boxes out. I will number them on the end just like we did for the jerseys. And then we'll let random.org decide for us which 6 we will open tonight versus which 6 we're going to hang on to and open in the next break. That's as soon as I can wedge them all out of this box here, that is. Okay, I think we're all out of the box now. Let's get them numbered. Then we'll use random. So each one of these will have 1 hit in it. It's just like Heritage, except it's high number. So, you know, it's the called up rookies, the traded players in their new uniforms, etc., etc., etc. And, you know, some of the other players in there too. But it's basically structured just like original Heritage was at the first of the year. So you're going to have 1 autograph or relic card per box. Again, you can find like some action image variation, short print type things. Pretty much just a retread almost of original Heritage. If any of most of you, many of you probably broke that at the first of the year when it came out. All right, there is our 1 through 12, and we're just going to take the first 6 numbers that come up. So that gives us 3, 8, 4, 2, 9, and 10. So 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10. Huh, how about that? That's interesting. 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10. All right, there's 2, 3, 4. Let's get these others away. Away you go, other boxes. I'm going to get the remaining 6 into their case, and I will be right back with you. Okay, they are all now safely tucked away in their little safe case home so that we keep them nice and happy while we're waiting to open them in a few days. Let's do it like this. Makes me feel like I have more space to work. Let's see here. Oh, James, you out of here? Okay, then we'll see you. We'll see you later. Corey, you got outbid on the Braves and the Nationals by just a few cents. Oh, man. Well, the Nationals are going to go really high in here because Juan Soto's in here. So the Nationals are probably going to be high all the way through for Heritage high number, I would guess. Corey, your friend in Indiana hit a hot box with a... Yeah, guys, I didn't talk about that, but if we do hit a hot box, there will be purple parallels of the Chrome cards, and I believe it will be 1 per pack, 1 purple per pack. So the hot boxes are just kind of randomly inserted, so we may come across one of those, we may not. But if we do, we will have, as Corey says, loads of purple in there. I need to find the scissors because there's a couple of things that can happen with our box loaders, okay? There's this option, which is going to be a strip of cards, like the Bazooka advertising strip of cards. So in other words, the advertisement's on the back, but the cards on the front are current cards. So there's like, you know, whatever the little thing is on the back. And on the front, we have the Diamondbacks, the Tigers, and the Cubs. So all of these that we pull out, we'll set aside, because at the end of the night, we'll have to take a look at that and see if anybody owns 2 of the 3 teams on one of those strips. If they do, that would give them 51% or more, and they would take that little strip of cards outright. If they don't, then that would go to random to figure out which team is going to get that little strip of cards. Now, the other option for our box loaders or box toppers, whichever you prefer to call them, would be to find original 1969 Topps cards that are buybacks. So in other words, Topps literally bought back cards from Heritage 1969, or from 1969. They weren't Heritage then, obviously. They were current year then. And then they stamped them with the updated stamp, so you know it's a buyback card. And on those buyback cards, you can expect that they will have been well loved often, okay? Because they've been hanging around somewhere since 1969. So they often have, you know, little creases or bends or soft corners and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, Queen of Diamond cards is saying the same thing. Wanted to pick up the Nationals, but everybody is after Juan Soto, so you couldn't get them in your price range. Yeah, I mean, it is, because really this is his first appearance in Topps all year. Now, he was in some Bowman stuff last year. I don't remember if he was in Bowman at the first of this year or not. He might have been, but I can't remember for certain. But he doesn't have a lot of Topps cards. Of course, he was in Chronicles, and we pulled him a fair amount out of Chronicles. But now here he is in high number. He will also be in Triple Threads. Topps confirmed that. And I believe Update, and I want to say there was one more product that Topps had already confirmed that he was in, but kind of gives you an idea. Let's stop and look at some of what we have. We'll open some more of those packs after we take a look here. So we're going to kind of blow through the base on this. As you can see, guys, I mean, there's tons of base. Most of this is going to be base. There's 1 hit per box. We may find the occasional parallel and things as we go. So the vast majority of these, we're going to kind of cut a path through them, because there's a lot of cards. So that, of course, is a facsimile signature, okay? Anytime you see one like this, the black and white with the ruffled edges, those are printed, imprinted signatures, not actual signatures. So facsimile signatures on all the cards that we see like that. Now, sometimes we can see something that might have, if you happen to notice that the team name down there is all white or something, that's a variation that we could find. There are action image variations that we could find. Now and Then is an insert set. There's an insert set in here for the Miracle Mets, the 1969 Miracle Mets. There is an insert series for Reggie Jackson, because 1969 was his rookie year. And, of course, our insert series, we'll find a bunch of our rookies on this. That one is Andujar. And those are just, as it said, rookie performers. So we'll find quite a number of those as we go along. We could possibly find some flip stock in here. That's a possibility. We could find throwback uniforms as a possibility. And a few of these I have to take an extra look at myself, because sometimes my first time through, it takes me a minute to get used to all the images. So sometimes I've got to flip them and check myself to see if they're a short print. Usually after I've gone through a case, broken it, and sorted it, and after that I can catch them just as I see them. Queen of Diamonds, you've seen Archives at retail. Here's the deal, guys. Archives was supposed to have been out already, and it would have corresponded with about the time that it was coming out in retail as well. but they pushed the date back on it. There's an Acuna. So it didn't come out for hobby, but it did still come out at retail. So it's been out in retail for a couple weeks. No, more than a couple weeks, but hasn't yet hit hobby. So Archives is still coming. We will still get it, but it's just going to be a bit away. The Jupiter Sailfish, you said you thought his Archives card was awful. What was wrong with it? There's a nice little Juan Soto rookie card for the Nats. It's just the base rookie card, but still, it's always good to find those first ones, right? So you got to be glad to see any Juan Soto coming out at this point. You're probably glad to see. Yeah, Ohtani is for sure. Ohtani is a possibility in this set. He was in the original Heritage earlier this year. I always call it the original Heritage, but Heritage without the high number part as a pitcher, I believe. So that should have him in as the DH, designated hitter, in high number. I think that's how they were going to do it. So the Tigers have a hit first out here, but you know what? That's like I guess that's I don't know, that's like a reprint of an old dude, not a current player. But it's not a buyback card either. That's what I was checking to see. It's a current card, printed 2018, but it's an old player. Does that make sense? What am I trying to say? There's a name for that in this set, what that is, but I'm clearly incapable of spitting it out right now, as we see. Anyway, it's for the Tigers, and it's an autograph hit, and it's Roy Face. And there we go. So, oh, you said the Jupiter Sailfish, you said you just thought that it was crazy looking, the picture of him on the bench, because he looked like he was sad sitting on the bench. They do sometimes pick weird pictures. There's a little insert with Ohtani and Trout hammering halos for the Angels. I always think the pictures they've used for Ian Happ are terrible, by the way. The Ian Happ stuff, they have one picture of him that they have used in several products this year where he is running and it looks really awkward, and I think it's a terrible, terrible picture. And this Ichiro that we just saw, I just flipped him over to check as I was setting him aside. I believe he's a short print. I believe he's an Action Image short print. And the code on the back would seem to tell me that that's the case. Randy, you think is that a throwback uniform? I thought that was Action Image. Maybe it is throwback uniform. At any rate, it is definitely a variation. So that's what I checked when I was getting ready to set it down. I thought, that didn't look like a regular Ichiro card, so I flipped it and saw the code on the back told me for sure that it was not. There's one of our Miracle Mets inserts right there. We'll find a bunch of those, and that is Juan Soto in the chrome. The chrome cards, guys, are to 999 when they look like this. So there are other chromes that may have a different numbering structure, and if we see some of those, of course, we'll flip them over and take a look at them as we come across them. Yet another insert series, that's award winners. And of course, we're taking a little more time to talk about our various inserts as we go through them this first time. Now, when we get into subsequent boxes, because, you know, you'll have a feel, and so will I, as to what we're going to find, we won't really necessarily call all of those out and flip them over and whatnot. We'll kind of just keep on keeping on. Yeah, Queen of Diamonds, the purple chrome ones that you're talking about are the hot box that Corey was talking about earlier. Those can just show up randomly, and when you find one of those hot boxes, there will be a purple chrome, or it's actually a chrome card with a purple border, but whatever you want to call it, purple chrome is fine. But there will be one of those per pack when and if we find the hot box. And those can just kind of show up randomly. Ah, you like that chrome Juan Soto. All right, excellent. Oh, somebody asked about Trinity. I didn't even see that. I'm sorry, David. I got you lost up there in the chat thread, and I didn't see your question. Thanks, Corey, for jumping in to answer that. We did already finish up with Trinity, David, as a matter of fact. And I see T. Cassidy is here, too. Hi, T. Cassidy. Were you here earlier? I don't remember seeing you earlier. You might have been, and I didn't look over at the right time or something. That's definitely possible. We all know that's a possibility. It doesn't, sometimes chat flows really quickly over there, and I don't always catch it as it goes by. I try to keep an eye on it, but not always. So for the Pirates, we have a little Austin Meadows rookie card, black border. Now here's what you need to know about this, guys. It is not numbered, but Topps has announced the print run on a lot of these unnumbered things that are on here, because we know that they're kind of rare, but you don't know how rare unless Topps decides to tell us. And they did decide to tell us. So the black borders are going to be are limited to 50 copies each. Okay, so there's your Austin Meadows for the Pirates. And you know that there are no more than 50 of those made. Are these the ones we just looked at? I think, yeah, they are, aren't they? Well, we'll go through them again real quick. But yeah, they are, because I remember seeing Rasmus in there. Yes, those are the ones we just looked at. I thought so. One of the Reggie Jackson insert series I was mentioning earlier, there's several Reggie Jackson highlights that we're going to find or potentially find, because again, they're just commemorating the fact that his rookie year was 1969, another then and now, or now and then, rather. Hey, there's an Ohtani rookie, pitcher DH, right there. Again, it's a base, but always, I say it's always good to see him, because sometimes, guys, even the paper base can bring some money. It was that way last year with Aaron Judge, too. S&S Design is here. Hey, S&S, I haven't seen you in a while either. Oh, you like your Tigers hit? Well, good, good. We'll try to find you a little more Tigers mojo as we go along. But so, I think that's standard, yeah. Still, again, sorry guys, it takes me a minute, as I said, to get used to all the images so I can easily spot our short prints as we go through. So sometimes I'm going to flip them a little more. But in addition to the black border that I mentioned a moment ago, which will be 50 copies or less, it will be 50 copies, even though it's not numbered on the card itself. There are also possibilities to pull in here 100th anniversary cards that would be limited to 25 copies each. There's also the possibility of pulling flip stock, which is when the back of the card feels like the front of a normal card and the front of the card feels like the back of a normal card would feel. So it just feels different, is how you know it's flip stock. And the flip stock in high number are limited to 5 copies each. And then there are also some that can have a magenta back. And as you know, there's so many cards in here, I do not typically show the back of every card. It would make our break twice as long. However, I catch that stuff, of course, when I'm sorting. But if someone, every once in a while, someone will be like, no, I want to see them all right now tonight. And if that is you, if you are that person tonight who wants to see them all you have to do is jump into chat and let me know. And at the end of the break, like after we've done the recap and all of that, I will pull everything up and we can do a really quick flip through and look at the back of every single card. It takes still a long time, but, you know, I'm not going to tell you no if somebody really wants to do that. So this is an example of what I was speaking about earlier. This is an original 1969 card that Topps bought back. They've just put that 50th anniversary stamp on it. And as you can see, it is well loved and well worn. So corners and edges and, you know, all that stuff is well loved simply because It's been around since 1969, so it's a little worn, like the rest of us that have been around since 1969, right? T. Cassidy, you were at your son's football game. Did he win? You got to give us the info, man. What happened? Were there any big plays? Anything good? The Jupiter Sailfish opened a hobby box of 18 chrome, and the Otani base card was the most expensive card in the box. Well, all right then. Well, you never know, guys. I mean, that's one of the nice things about breaks is you do at least get a chance to spread it out a little, especially something like this where there's one hit per box. You know, you can buy yourself sometimes into several breaks depending on the team that you like for the cost you would pay for one box, and at least it gives you more chances to hit a home run as opposed to the personal box anyway. S&S Design, you said work and more work. I feel you on that, man. It's been a busy week, hasn't it? Like, I don't know. This whole week just seems like every day I think at the start of the day, oh, I don't have all that much stuff to do. I'm sure I'm going to have plenty of time to do XYZ. And then like, whoops, guess what? No, next thing you know, something crops up and your day is off the rails. That's numbered to 999, a chrome Todd Frazier. But that's for sure how it happens, I think, to all of us. Is one day you just look up and it's Friday. I mean, those are the good days when you just think, oh, hey, wait, I didn't know it was Friday. I, of course, have been off all week. Yesterday I thought was Friday for a good part of the day. And, yeah, I kind of got reset when we had the holiday, and I haven't gotten straightened back out since then. There's a Torres rookie performers. We already saw the Andujar earlier, so the Yankees have hit both of their young rookies and the performers insert. Now and then Shohei Ohtani insert, Angels. Corey, you hit a bunch of Ohtani out of chrome, the sepia refractor and the matrix looking refractor, and about a dozen of the base cards. You know what? I mean, again, the base cards, guys, on some of these players, like Ohtani and Juan Soto and stuff, they will sell. They will. Even the regular paper base you can do pretty well with sometimes. I remember last year, I mean, the Aaron Judge paper base at one point got really, really high for a while. That was for the Yankees. There's another Juan Soto rookie base. So you just never know what somebody's going to do on any given day, but that's why we line them up and break them out. There's another short print action image variation. This one is Tyler Austin for the Yankees. See, I'm already getting back in the groove of picking out our action images, but it does take me a minute. I will grant you that. That might be, I would have to double check the code on that. This might be throwback uniform, possibly right there, I believe. So you had the Ichiro earlier that I think was the action image. This is the one that I think is the throwback uni. So the Mariners, there's another Ohtani base. The Mariners potentially with a couple of variations, both as Ichiro. Well, Jupiter, I guess it's a good break product in the sense that there are a lot of cards. So if you are a set builder or you like doing breaks where you get a lot of cards, then yes. But it's, of course, obviously a longer break with this many boxes and this many cards. And, of course, it's a longer sort, too. So in that sense, it's not designed necessarily for breaks. But yet, on the other hand, people do tend to be happy when you get big packages of cards. And I'm the same way, you know. You get a package with like a bunch of cards in it. It's like, yeah. More fun, right? Yeah. Bluegrass Festival tomorrow, huh? And where is your Bluegrass Festival? Is it somewhere in Tennessee, Kentucky, in that kind of general vicinity? Eric's asking if anybody who's on live is getting hit by the hurricane. You know, Jay Allen is down in that area, Eric, and he was on last night, and he hadn't been hit by it, but he sent me a message earlier this evening and said that they had lost power, and he wasn't sure if he was going to be able to watch the break like on his phone or anything like that, but he had been hit today and lost power, and he was inland by quite a ways, I believe he said. So he was kind of thinking maybe he would not get in too bad a shape, but he did send me that message earlier letting me know. So unfortunately, we do have some folks impacted by what is, I think, now downgraded to a tropical storm, Florence, but nonetheless, you know, the wind, while it has certainly caused some problems, the rain is what's just crushing everybody down there. I mean, so much rain, and it's just sitting there like it's, you know, normally those things hit and then they dissipate and they move on and go away, but Florence is just sitting there just dumping rain and dumping rain. I mean, there were some parts that already had over 2 feet of rain today. So, can you imagine? Beltray for the Rangers is our clubhouse collection relic, and that is a piece of the baseball bat, it looks like. So, the Rangers with our hit out of box number 2. Queen of Diamonds, you're on the edges, and you are without power, but only for an hour, so that's not too bad then. Oh, hang on. Hold the phone, kids. This is also a variation because there, you see our team name is in white, and our team name should be in yellow. So it's a variation for the Padres, and by the by, it is also the first Topps card with Eric Hosmer in a Padres uniform. So you got Eric Hosmer Padre variation. Not too shabby. Another Acuna rookie. And another Miracle Mets 1969 insert. Yeah, I think Eric said that they reported earlier 750,000 without power in North and South Carolina. I'm surprised that it's not more than that. I mean, just seeing the totals of rainfall and periodically checking in on the Weather Channel forecasts and stuff. I mean, I don't see how everybody's not without power, honestly. We've just been absolutely inundated. And then, of course, the places that did get the high wind that had trees uprooted and all that stuff, then you end up with another set of issues because your trees have knocked into the power lines. So there's just a lot of factors at play there. But certainly down there in the Carolinas, those folks are having a hard time tonight. And it sounds like maybe throughout the weekend. I mean, the one forecaster on the Weather Channel said he doesn't really expect them to be completely out of the woods with the rain until the weekend is over, which is like a crazy long time from now when you consider the amount of rain that's falling. My friend, her mother had a house down on Hilton Head. Her mother passed away, unfortunately, last year. So my friend inherited the house, and she's not down there, though. She had to go to work in Chicago, so she's not down there. But there's someone that lives in the house, stays down there, and as far as I know, they're still okay. They were like on a really, I think she said the house was in the highest part of Hilton Head, I guess is what she said. So I don't know if they have power or not, though. But kind of a bad set of circumstances. I know some people, they said some people had lost their lives. One person, I think, died outside trying to get their generator up and running, and I don't know to what degree, if they were electrocuted or what. That's all I heard. And then a mother and a child were killed when a tree fell into a house. And then I believe they said a lady had a heart attack, and 911 people, the rescue squad, couldn't get to her because of the downed trees. Cardinals, Mariners, and Marlins. This is another one of our little strip of cards that we'll have to take a look at the end of the break and see if anybody can take it outright, owning 51% of the teams, or if it will end up going into random.org. You never know. Oh, Greg, I didn't see that until just now. You said to hire some helpers for sorting. You know, I have thought about that. I have considered that. And of course, you know, I've got family, and they, you know, we can always press them into slave labor. But the thing about it is, I don't know. This is going to be a hot box, by the way. I see purple edges already. I don't know. I really am nervous about it because at least now, like, I'm not going to say I never make mistakes when I'm sorting, because occasionally I do. I try really hard not to, but sometimes it's inevitable and you make a mistake and you don't mean to, but you do. But at least if I make it, I know I'm the one who did it, right? So there's nobody to blame but me, and I just make it right and do the best I can, and obviously try to avoid doing it again in the future. But I don't know. I don't know if I trust anybody else to do it, to do the sorting, because it's really easy to make a mistake when you're doing a high volume of cards and breaks across, you know, multiple breaks and things like that. It's really easy to mess it up. And so I usually check and double check and triple check my own stuff, and even me doing that every once in a while, I'll mess one up. So it's hard for me to let somebody else do it, basically. So in our hot box, we're going to find a bunch of these chrome cards, and they're going to have the purple borders, just like that one. They are not numbered, and I don't know that there was no print run announced for those either. Okay, so I don't know like how many they produced of the purple border ones, because Topps did not announce that information. But what we do know is that every single pack in this box is going to have one of those. And we do know that finding one for Shohei Ohtani is a good thing, because it's a variation. Obviously, not everybody's going to have it, and that will be worth more money. So, Angels, Corey, I think that's you. You're going to have a little extra money if you decide to sell that one with the purple one. Greg says, and then I could break 6 cases a day. Yeah, I don't know about that, man. I'd be breaking for like 12 hours straight or something. That might be a little rough, man. But I do feel your sentiment, and I have considered it. That's an Acuna for the Braves. I have had some conversations recently about either letting the family help, which has come up, or hiring somebody to help just to speed up the process a little. But it does make me really nervous because I'm super particular about how they're prepared to be shipped. You know, I like it done a very certain way. And I don't want anybody making mistakes when they're sorting or any of that kind of stuff. Which I guess I could just go along behind them and just double check it. Like, not awful, but like let them sort it. And then before it goes out, whoops, there's one stuck behind it. And then before it goes out the door, just double check it. I guess I could do that. So I don't know. It's definitely a good idea, Greg. I just don't know if I can bring myself to do it. But it is, I've been thinking about it. There's rookie performer Shohei Ohtani, insert. Because it is true. You have a valid point. I would be able to break more if I had had help with the sorting and the shipping, for sure. Oh, Corey, you froze up there in Alaska. We're in the hot box right now, Corey, and we did pull you a purple chrome Otani. If you didn't see that for yet, so we did find one for you in here. Here's Ender for the Braves with our Clubhouse Collection relic. Ender Inciarte. So yeah, your hot box produced Otani, and I actually said, you probably didn't hear it because I think you said you were probably frozen up at that point, but if you are reselling, Corey, I don't know how many of these you're keeping versus how many you're reselling, but if you're reselling, purple Otani is obviously worth a little more money for you. And there is a chrome Otani to 999. The purple ones are not numbered, and Topps did not, to the best of my knowledge, Topps didn't release anything that tells us, there's a Gleyber Torres, how many what the print run was either, but suffice to say, it's not going to be nearly as common. Here's our mini, and it is Todd Frazier for the Mets. I always like finding the minis. The minis make me happy. Another Now and Then, which I always want to say then and now. I don't know why, but for some reason, it always comes out of my mouth then and now. But the card is Now and Then. It's always been Now and Then. I always say then and now. So, always, I get that backwards. I don't know why. But I don't have a ton of Heritage High number. Maybe, I think three cases of it, maybe. So we'll end up doing around 6 breaks of it. Of course, got to try to work those in along with all the other stuff we've got to break right now, which is still considerable. Because there's a lot of Spectra still yet to go. There's more Luminaries. There's more Leaf Cut Signature History of Baseball. I even have more Clearly Authentic that came in this week. We're going to break a little bit more of it. And I don't know, there's a bunch of other stuff down there too. More Miracle Mets. So we've got quite a bit to get worked into the rotation over the days ahead. Scott Kingery for the Phillies. The Philadelphia Phillies. I saw a headline today that said, somebody, I didn't read the article, but whoever wrote the article believed that the Phillies might potentially land both Bryce Harper and Manny Machado in free agency. So that I thought was interesting. Can you imagine if that happened? That would be like, you know, instant World Series favorite or something. That would be a pretty nice combination if they happen to pick up those two guys in the off season through free agency. I don't think that's going to happen, though. I really think that the Nationals will re-sign Harper, don't you guys? I mean, I know it's going to cost them a fortune, but I just can't see that they're going to let him go. I mean, they might, but I would be surprised. He is going to want a lot of money, though. Like a lot of money. But I think the Nationals have it. But I would also, I don't know, maybe the Dodgers aren't going to be able to afford Machado long term, but you got to think they're making a pitch for him. I mean, I can't imagine they're just going to roll over and let him walk without a fight, but I guess at the end of the day, it is all about the money. So we'll see who's got enough of it to sign him. Another Otani base. Of course, Otani in Heritage was a short print, so he didn't come out of it terribly frequently. A little more prevalent in here with his base cards. Here's another black border. This is Astros Garrett Cole. Once again, the black border are print runs of 50, even though they are not numbered. So a little extra information to have, once again, should you decide to be selling it. That's good stuff to know. So I guess in this particular product, there maybe aren't as many people buying in to resell as there are in some of the others, but I'd say there's still a handful of you who like to buy and flip. And honestly, if I weren't breaking that, I mean, doing this part of the breaking, that's exactly what I would do. Because then you get to buy into all the breaks and still make money. I like that plan, right? We all like that plan. Yeah, I know, Eric. Scott Boras is really plays hardball, to say the least. That's Bryce Harper's agent, and Scott Boras is known for really, well, he just plays hardball. I mean, he expects exceedingly high contracts for his players, and he usually gets them. And he doesn't really negotiate much on terms. If they want whatever it is that he wants, they usually get. And he's a very tough negotiator, Scott Boras is. So the Nationals will either pretty much have to give Bryce Harper what he asks for, or he will walk, because Boras isn't going to compromise much. Billy Harris for the Royals. This is, again, another one of our 1969 buyback cards, just stamped with the updated information, and also well loved like our prior buyback card that we saw. Greg, you think Manny's going to go to the Cubs? Wow, that would really help the Cubs too. And you think Harper will go to the Phillies and that Manny will go to the Cubs? Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know how much money the Cubs have got floating around right now, but maybe. I saw that the Reds released the new lineup for the training, and they've moved Nick Senzel to the outfield. At least that's how they have him listed. To the outfield. Like, come on, man. Of course, I told you guys this is supposed to be crazy. You know, we drafted more infielders at the top of the draft again this year. It's like we have too many. You know, obviously we can't get Nick in at third base, which is, by the way, what he played when we drafted him. So then they experimented, well, let's try him at shortstop or at second. Well, okay, so they tried that experiment, and he got hurt and obviously wasn't going to get called up. But meanwhile, what are you going to do? I mean, we are set at short and third and second. And we're obviously set at first with Joey Votto. So where's he going to go? So now they're going to try to work him into the outfield rotation to bring him up? I don't know. I just think that's such a mess. And I really just want to drive to Cincinnati and go knock on somebody's door and say, stop drafting infielders. Just stop doing it. You have nowhere to put them, people. Christian Yelich for the Brewers. That is an action image variation. So I don't know, but when I saw, they were going to try to move him to the outfield. Maybe they're going to try to deal Billy Hamilton. That would be a possibility for sure. That's going to be numbered to 999 on the Chrome. Because Billy Billy makes some great catches, and he's pretty special actually in the outfield, but offensively, man, the guy just has a hard time at the plate. And I think as a result, they are probably going to move on from him, which I kind of hate because I happen to like him. But so maybe they're going to try to put Nick out there in center field. I don't know. Or maybe they're just going to experiment with it for now and then never do it. Who knows what they're going to do. Corey, you said your friend in Indiana had packs that had doubles of the purple refractors and the same player, so two of each, like they were stuck together in the packing. Wow. Well, somebody got really lucky with that, because that definitely doesn't happen very often. So, I mean, the purple in and of itself are pretty good little variations, and then we've got to add to it that they doubled them up. Very nice. Guys, excuse me 1/2 second. One of the adult kitties is trying to kill the kitten. Hang on 1 second. Okay, thank you. That was just a very, very big commotion in there, and it was about to turn bloody, I think. So, yeah, I decided I better go break that up before Kitten ended up, on the dead side of things. I was just like, tag on, man. Poor monkey. My poor little monkey man. But, Corey, that's pretty good luck for your friend. I always think when somebody has something like that happen that they should go play the lottery, because it definitely means the odds are in your favor. As they say in the Hunger Games, may the odds be ever in your favor. There's another Juan Soto. Isn't that crazy how that worked out for him? Because really, if Victor hadn't been hurt, Victor would have gotten the call-up. Juan would still be down in AAA. But because Victor was hurt, Juan got called up, and now Juan's the big superstar. Giants black border. Tony Watson, 50 is the print run. Another Reggie Jackson insert. Now, it was Indiana where you used to have a card shop. Isn't that right, Corey? Am I remembering that correctly? That once upon a time you owned a hobby shop, I think. Sometimes I forget who has what where, but I'm pretty sure that it was you that told me you had a card shop in Indiana back in the day. Getting harder and harder to find local card shops. So many of them out of business. The good and the bad of the internet, right? I mean, the good is it allows us to do awesome stuff like breaks. The bad is it kind of puts local businesses out of business in some cases. The Amazon effect, I guess, is kind of what it is, right? But it is so convenient, okay? I'm guilty of it. I am guilty of preferring some days just to click and ship, and 2 days later it's at my house. I'll admit it. I do it. But I also try to support the local stores, too. So, I mean, I definitely go in and buy stuff locally as often as I can as well. Another Miracle Mets, Nolan Ryan. Sean, we have had an autograph in Heritage. It was the Tigers on like I don't know how to say it, like an old dude, not a current player, but I know there is a name for it. I know I could tell you what the card set was if only I could spit it out of my brain. But the card set has a name for it in Heritage, where it is the older Hall of Fame type, legacy type player. That's who we pulled the autograph of. But the card is current. I mean, it's printed as an old style card, but printed in 2018. So not like a buyback that was autographed. Did that make sense? It probably didn't make sense. I know what I'm thinking, but I can't seem to say it. Oh, you had 3 different locations, Corey. Wow. Isn't that, when you think back, though, there was a point in time where you could find that many in a city of card shops and comic book shops or combo comic book and card shops. And they were at one point in time really very common. Ho, 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 Phillies. Phillies in the house. Red ink, Rhys Hoskins. Yeah, how about that? How you like me now, as they say. So the red ink, guys, what is the print run on the red ink? 69. 6 of 69. I should have remembered that because it's a 1969 card, is the year that we're reproducing in here. That's a nice little hit for the Phillies with some red ink, Rhys Hoskins to 69. I like that very much. Queen of Diamonds, you said a lot of the card shops that you buy from have a storefront, but also do internet breaking at night. I mean, that's the thing. That's what I kept telling our guy that owns the local shop. I keep trying to tell him, hey man, you need to start doing some breaks and stuff because that makes the difference. You got to get the volume up because he's having trouble getting enough stuff to sell to his regular customers. And I mean, but he's an older gentleman, and he had kind of wanted to be selling it anyway. And then he had that heart attack a few months back, and now he has decided if he hasn't sold it by the end of this year, he's going to shut it down like January 1, which I hate to hear, but you know, I try to help him out. I try to order stuff through him too, so that it boosts up his numbers. Like I'll just order extra of something and get it through him to try to. That will help him with his future allocations, but he's just been having a struggle with it lately, and he says he doesn't want to get into breaking, and he doesn't, you know, want to go down that road. So that's about the only way I think you can successfully manage it these days, really, if you have the brick and mortar, unless you've had a consistently high volume throughout. Then, you know, you can usually, especially with baseball, you can usually keep something close to your prior year's volume as long as you order at least that much or more the following year. But if you take a year off or you order less one year or something like that, then it becomes very difficult to ever get back up to that same quantity. I think that's what a lot of them struggle with. You're asking if it's possible for the brick and mortar stores to sell boxes at a similar price to the online stores. Well, it absolutely is for the first X number of days, because Panini and Topps and Upper Deck now all have what's called MAP pricing, which is minimum advertised price point, okay, MAPP, MAP pricing. And you cannot, as an authorized internet retailer, sell below that MAP price for the first, I think most of them are the first 60 days after release. So yeah, they definitely can in that time frame, because they could theoretically sell for less there in their local store, because, you know, unless Topps or Panini representatives are shopping there, they're not going to know if you're selling it for less. But the internet stores can't drop below that price for X number of days after release. But of course, again, you know, you're just running into a volume thing. That seems to be the main issue, is just the volume that an online retailer, one of the big three, could get versus what a local card shop could get just isn't comparable. That's where you run into the problems. That is a variation for J.D. Martinez and the Red Sox. Yeah, so I don't know. It's just kind of sad to me, though, because, you know, the people that own the local stores always have such a wealth of information, because most of them that own local card shops have owned them for years. This is Gleyber Torres, clubhouse relic for the Yankees. And so they have such a vast knowledge base that it's really sad to see them go out, because you just lose a lot of that. Tampa Bay Rays, Anthony Banda, that is a variation of some sort as well, would appear to be. There is another Ohtani base. But I guess like so many other things, it's, you know, that's the bad side of the internet that we have to live with to get the good side, which is to be able to do the breaks and the things that the internet allows us to do in that regard. Jupiter, your closest local card shop is over an hour away. Yeah, that's a rough drive just to go pick up a pack or a box of cards. You know, it is. That's the problem, though, see, because it's so much easier just to, like, click a button and then, whoops, there it is at your house 2 days later. You know, we're all guilty of that. But Topps and some of them have come out and said, that's that same, I think we already saw that one. That's the one, I think that's the throwback uni. But Topps did come out back at the first of the year and crack down and say they don't want any of their people selling on Amazon. So if you buy direct from Topps, or if you buy from a distributor even, and then you turn around and sell your new product on Amazon and they catch you, you're done, man. They'll just cut you off. You won't even be able to buy it from distributor or anything. So Topps has come out against it and said, no, 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 you're not to sell our products on Amazon. So I don't know how much of a difference it's made. There's still a ton of Topps products on there, but I guess a lot more of them are the older ones than the current ones since they came out with that policy. But I guess that's, you know, maybe part of their way of trying to help keep the local guys in business, I guess. Queen of Diamonds, you said your local store's 30 minutes away, but right near work. Well, that would be dangerous for me if it was right near work, because that would mean I'd be going past it like every day. I'd be in there buying something every day. Mine is not too far away either. I can be there, and I mean, miles wise, it's not far at all, but just traffic and how long it takes to get there. I don't know, maybe 10 minutes or so from me. It's not far. But it's enough that I'm not, you know, driving by it every day. Because if I were, I would, goodness knows how much more money I'd spend in there. I already buy all kinds of stuff. In fact, I've got a whole bunch of stuff that I need to put together into mixers and things. A lot of stuff I've bought in his store recently. Well, not even recently, over the last year or two. I've got boxes of older stuff. I'll see it and just decide, why not? You know, buy it and there we go. So, in fact, I don't even know what all I have from there. As a matter of fact, I've got so much of it. But somewhere along the way, between now and, I don't know, 10 years from now, I'll get all that stuff sorted out into mixers. That will be the plan. Somewhere along the way, I will get it done. Some of it I probably should open myself, too, once I get in there and find out what all I really do have. But it's almost like I can't help myself. I don't know. I go in and I'll see this stuff and I'll think, oh man, when's the next time I'm going to find, you know, 2014, whatever it is. And then I'll decide I have to have it. And that's how it goes. So he always likes to see me come in because he knows I'll wander around and buy something. Christian Aurora as a Tampa Bay Ray, numbered to 999. Boston Bashers insert. But I will be really sad if he goes out of business. Well, if he goes out of business, you know what, guys? We'll be doing about a zillion breaks of mixers because I'll just go in there and buy everything. Like if he starts having some markdown sales and stuff, I'll just be in there buying everything. There's a variation for the Dodgers, Matt Kemp. That's the action image variation, I believe. So I don't know. We may end up with a lot more stuff even than I'm planning right now to have to put together. Because he's got Well, I've bought a lot of the older stuff, but he did have stuff a lot from 2012 and 2013. And I mean, he still had 2013 Bowman Chrome at the first of this year. In fact, I bought a bunch of it at the first of this year. Some of it I opened myself. Some of it we broke as mixers with other stuff. And he had it quite a bit, and it had been there since 2013. So I didn't think that much about it. I was just buying it little dribs and drabs. And then, of course, you know, Aaron Judge just blew up. And so somebody else went in there and bought everything he had left of that and a couple of the other products of the older stuff. So then I was mad that I hadn't bought more. But you know, come on, it had been there for 5 years. So I was, you know, I was just buying it in little bits and pieces. I'm thinking, been there for 5 years, it'd be there for 5 more or until I buy it all. But guess what? I was wrong. Because somebody came in and snatched it all up. Well, what was left, I'd already gotten a bunch of it, of course. But there were probably a good 3 or 4 more boxes of it or something that they got. And what else was in there? There was something else I was buying in little bits and pieces. Oh, it was 2012 update. Yeah, right? With Bryce Harper. There's 2012 update in there that he had forever, too. And same thing. We broke some of it at the first of the year. I opened some of it myself. There was still some left. And then one day I went in and it was gone. So somebody came along and discovered my little secret stash. But he used to order so much stuff. I mean, like tons and tons and tons of stuff. And that's why I still had a lot of it from these past years. And some of it, like the baseball stuff, went up in value. Some of it, like all the 2013 football stuff, went way down in value. So then he has a hard time, you know, can't get rid of the, yeah, that's, again, that same variation. Can't get rid of some of the football stuff because, you know, take, for instance, 2013 Prestige, which he probably paid, I don't know, maybe $65, $70 a box for. So anything less than that, he's going to be taking a loss. But then you have all these online retailers that obviously have bought it in subsequent years, and they sell it for $20 a box. So that's kind of the problem he gets into with some of that stuff and having it as long as he's had it. Especially the 2013 football stuff, because we all know that was a rough year for round 1 of the draft anyway. Some of the later round drafted people did fine, but round 1 was kind of a waste, which made all those products a little less desirable, of course. So, no Le'Veon Bell again this week, speaking of 2013 in football. Not that I expected him to be there. My prediction is week 5. That's what I said from the beginning. I thought he would show up around week 5. But I see some people in the media are now predicting he won't show up until week 10, you know, which when you've got to be there. Actually, I guess technically you have to be available to start in week 11. So I think you have to play 6 games, 6 regular season games for him to have him count as a year of service towards his free agency. But I think he'll show up week 5. But I don't know. A lot of the talking heads think week 10, so maybe, or week 11, whatever you want to call it. After week 10, available to play week 11, perhaps, is the right way to say it. Of course, then he's out in the media. He and his agent are out in the media going, oh, well, that's why we don't want him to go back. You saw James Conner. They had him carry the ball 31 times. Imagine how many times they would have handed it off to Le'Veon. It's like, okay, well, guy should still be pretty fresh considering that he only had like 1 year, 1 season, last season, where I think he was on the field for about every game. Every other season, he was either out with injuries or drug suspensions or something else. He didn't even play full seasons. So, the guy ought to still be pretty fresh from where I'm sitting, but I don't know. Yeah, you haven't followed much of the drama with him. Yeah, you haven't missed much. I mean, I think he probably would have been inclined to come back sooner had he not seen what happened with Khalil Mack. And I think that just got him all fired up, thinking, oh, well, I can get him to, sign and trade like they did with Khalil Mack. But Steelers aren't going to do that. I mean, he should have known that from the beginning. Steelers are not going to do that. And how stupid to just decide to sit home on your rump. But supposedly he and his agent think the Steelers will try to overwork him since they know they're not going to re-sign him next year. Maybe he's right. Who knows? But I just know if I were making $860 some odd thousand a week, I would show up for work. That's a lot of money to leave on the table, in my opinion, anyway. All right, we are in our last box, so let's look for a little last box mojo in here and see if we can't find something nice to close out the evening. Oh. That would be a Ronald Acuna action image variation. How about that? For the Braves. We like seeing the little Acuna short prints coming out. Making life good for the Braves. Hey, here's a black border chrome Torres for the Yankees. That's not too shabby either. And the black border chrome print run is 69. You see that printed on there. This one is number 18 of 69. So again, it's the paper black border that are unnumbered, but a print run of 50. And then when you see the chrome black border, they are going to be numbered to 69 like that one was. So pretty cool little hit there right at the end for the Yankees and Torres. Man, my sorting area is getting full over there. Between this and Trinity, I've got quite a large stack of cards off to my right on my little sorting mat. Actually, it's mats plural, but I need to change them up too. I'm tired of looking at tops up there at the top. I'm going to change that up. Maybe I'll do that sometime in the next week or so. I've got Topps and Leaf and Bowman and Panini, and then I've got just some solid color ones. And ever so often I just get tired of looking at whatever's there and I change it up. Might be about that time. We've been looking at Topps for a while. Francisco Mejia for the Indians Clubhouse Collection Relic. Of course, I know, he has been traded, but still not caught up to, the trade still hasn't caught up to the card production at Topps. So he is still an Indian for that purpose. So let's recap and take care of our little strips of cards that will need to go possibly into random. Let's just get these box loaders and things set aside. So we're going to take a look at these one strip at a time in terms of our owners. So once again, you've got to own 2 of the 3 to have 51% or more of the card. So let's go over here to our spreadsheet and see if we can find anybody that has those. So first up here, whoa, what just happened? Oh my goodness, I clicked on something, sorry. I don't even know if you saw that, but all of a sudden like a program starts to open up because I accidentally clicked it. All right, so Greg's Coins has the A's, the Colorado Rockies. Hey, that's Queen of Diamond cards. Who's here in our chat right now? Greg was here too. I don't know if he still is or not. And then the Marlins, it's the Jupiter sailfish. You guys are all here tonight, and gals, as the case may be. So we do have to go to random, but you know what I think we're going to do? I think we're going to wait, and we're going to do random. Yeah, let's wait. We'll do random on all these strip cards at once, because what I'll do is type in like left, middle, and right, and then whatever it comes up, we'll just apply it to all of the strips of cards. So let's do that. So that will bring us to this: Cardinals, Mariners, and Marlins. So we're doing the same thing here on the spreadsheet. So the Cardinals, that's Corey. Our Mariners, where are you, Mariners? Billy Ray. And then, of course, we just saw our Marlins, and that's Jupiter Sailfish. So we know that that one also is going to be heading to random. Diamondbacks, Tigers, and Cubs, the third one that we need to check out. So our D-backs, Johnny Frank. Our Tigers, Queen of Diamonds. And our Cubs, where are you, Cubbies? That's Corey. So yeah, looks like we are all three of our strips of cards are going to go into random. So here again, what I'm going to do is I will just simply type in left, middle, and right. I will hit random 3 different times. The first 2 will not count. The third and final random will make the determination. Then we'll look at all 3 of those strips of cards again after the random, of course, and we'll be able to tell what team got each one of those based on what random tells us here in a hot second. All right, so good luck, everyone. Here we go. So ignore the first one. You can ignore the second one. Here's our third and final, and it's going to the right. The right. So this strip of cards is headed to the Marlins. And I'm just going to write that. I'll put that back in this. So, but for now, we're going to write that as the Marlins so that I know where it goes. This one, hey, that also goes to the Marlins because the Marlins are on the right on it as well. So look at you go, Jupiter. You've got 2 little strips of cards that are heading your way. There's our second one. And then this one is headed to the Cubbies, the Chicago Cubs, with our final one. All right, so there are the strips of cards, our other 3 box toppers. Once again, these cards all well-loved, rounded corners, you know, maybe a little creasing and various things. They are original cards from 1969 that were bought back and stamped. So the Braves had 1, the Royals had 1, and the Phillies had 1. So our box loaders tonight were split equally between the strip cards and then our little buyback cards. Numbered to 69, the chrome black border Torres for the Yankees. That is an action image variation of Acuna. This is Ichiro. I believe that's throwback uniform for the Mariners. This is, I think, also throwback uniform, right? I believe it is for Banda and the Rays. And the Red Sox, is that all? That's probably also throwback uniform. That is action image variation for the Dodgers with Matt Kemp. That's another of the Ichiro. There's another of the Banda, another Martinez. Black border Tony Watson paper. Not numbered, but we know the print run is 50. Topps released that. Christian Yelich, that is an action image variation for the Brewers. Black border that will be print run of 50. Garrett Cole for the Astros. Our mini, Todd Frazier and the Mets. Eric Hosmer as a Padre. And, of course, with the flip there on the team name being in white instead of yellow. Another Ichiro Mariners that, again, I think is throwback uniform. There is a Tyler Austin action image variation for the Yankees. The Pirates hit with Austin Meadows rookie black border print run of 50. And there is an action image variation of Ichiro for the Mariners as well. So those are the short prints and action images and all that kind of stuff. At least the ones that I saw when we were going through. Okay, so I may find more when we're sorting, and of course, obviously, if I do, we'll get them properly sleeved and top loaded and all that. Occasionally, I will find one that I've missed, especially as I'm first breaking it and getting used to what they all look like. The variations, I mean. Mejia Clubhouse Collection Relic for the Indians. Gleyber Torres Clubhouse Collection for the Yankees. That handsome Rhys Hoskins red ink rookie autograph /69 for the Phillies. Clubhouse Collection Ender Inciarte for the Braves. Clubhouse Collection Relic for the Rangers with Adrian Beltre. And then for the Tigers, we have Roy Face. And this is this kind of interesting card that I can't really think what you call it, but it was printed in 2018. But obviously, you know, this guy played from 53 to 68. So it's like a reprint of his 1969 card for this retired player, Roy Face, for the Tigers. All right. So that is what we have for tonight. That has our break all wrapped up for the evening. I will put up the spreadsheet information one final time for anyone who might have missed that. So give me a second. We'll cycle through that little bit of info. Or anybody who might have scrolled to the end here and you want to see it if you're watching the replay. So again, shipping dates projected are always plus or minus a day. In the case of the free shipping stuff, which tonight is the baseball jerseys, or the football jerseys rather, the free shipping stuff I always project out about 6-7 days out. I can often get them out faster, especially when it's the jerseys, because those are pretty quick to ship. So those are most likely going to get out the door well before Thursday. But for the purposes of estimations, we're going to leave it at Thursday. Then for Trinity and Heritage High number, Tuesday's a pretty reasonable estimation there. It could possibly slide a day earlier. It could possibly slide a day later. So, you know, kind of look at a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday scenario. Obviously, I chose Tuesday because that's in the middle of all that. And hopefully it'll go out on that day or thereabouts. If you happen to get blanked in the football jersey break, normally I'm going to hang on to your consolation cards because it was a free shipping break, and I just keep them and I keep track of them for a rolling 90 days. Then the next time you do hit something, I gather them all up, send them out in that package that's heading your way. If you don't want to wait on that and you'd like to have it sent to you sooner, yeah, you just drop me a line through eBay messages and I will get them on the way to you, usually within a couple of days from the time you request it. If you were to have gotten blanked, hopefully I know nobody got blanked in Heritage High number. Every team's got cards coming from Heritage High number. But if you happen to get blanked in Trinity, then any consolation card or cards you are due will ship to you with the rest of the break because it was a paid shipping break. The things that are coming up in the days ahead. This is the stuff that's listed on eBay already. We have another case of Trinity football tomorrow night. We're going to do a 3-peat basketball box, 3 autographed items, a basketball, a jersey, and a photo. And the last case I have of 18-19 Contenders Draft Picks basketball. Sunday, we'll do a multi-sport autograph program. We will do a half case of autographed baseball jerseys, another case of History of Baseball cut signature, a 4th and goal memorabilia box. It's 4 autographed items, a full-size football helmet, a mini football helmet, a jersey, and a photo. And we'll do the 4th and final case I have of Absolute Football. Monday night will bring us to a full case of TriStar Game Day Greats football jerseys. So there'll be 5 in that break because it's a full case of TriStar. Then we'll do a 3rd case of Spectra football, which frankly has been awesome and maybe like awesome squared. It's been so good. I can't believe we got to wait till Monday to open another one, but that's how I scheduled it, so there you go. And then we'll also open a half case of Luminaries baseball and a 2nd case of High Tech, which our 1st case of High Tech was smoking hot, so that's another one I want to open sooner, but I didn't schedule it till Monday. Tuesday will be another half case of our autographed baseball jerseys, another half case break of Luminaries. We will do the back case of Heritage High number that we started tonight. We're going to finish it up on Tuesday night. Wednesday, we'll open a full-size autographed football helmet, a half case of Leaf jerseys, another third case of Trinity football, and XR football comes out Wednesday. We'll open a full case of XR as well. And I guess the only other thing is this little deal right here, but we have sold this out tonight. This is our Leaf Greatest Hits basketball break. So if you are one Cutie Pie or Corey or Randy or Logic Boy, you guys will be getting some communication from me that's going to come directly to your email. And you'll also get a PayPal invoice directly to you for your purchases. And if everybody gets your info taken care of and paid up, we'll probably break that tomorrow night, assuming everybody sees it and has time to get it paid. So that'll be fun. I always like doing that too. So I guess that's it for tonight, kids. Thank you so much for joining me, spending part of your Friday evening with me. I appreciate having you here. I hope I'll see you again for another break. In the meantime, I hope your weekend is a good one. We'll be back at it tomorrow night and see you then. Bye now.